Hello and welcome for my Toxic Skin Spiritborn guide for Season 12. I got various messages that people want another guide for this season. So here we are, but there aren't too many changes this season for the build. So if you played Toxic Skin the last season, Season 11, you're quite familiar with what's going on and what to play. There are minor changes to get a little bit more comfort, a little bit changes because we miss some of the double aspects we had last season. So jump in right now. We start on the equipment and the skills. The skill tree itself is like last season. The first two branches are unimportant. You just need the 2 points to lock on the other branches. Here are the defensive and offensive multipliers. Toxic Skin, of course, our main damage source. Then here we are with our barrier. This time we use the barrier knot because we can't use temerity in our endgame setup. So we use the barrier knot. We use our resolve. You really need some damage reduction here because we don't have the Shaco anymore with the damage reduction. And we use armored hide here, so these are the main changes. We use armored hide because we have a lack of resolve generation, and we need a source of getting resolve. And you can keep this up for defensive too, but on the other hand, you have 100% dodge all the time, so it's not too important to have this all always active. But what we really need is the passive to gain resolve. Otherwise you can't get resolve, and resolve does our damage reduction and does damage with our colossal glyph. So this is really important to have this. We lose 1 luxury slot for vortex or our swoopity swoop. But it is what it is. We use auspicious because we need barrier. So the next one here is our damage modifier board. Here damage modifiers, gorilla modifiers, eagle modifiers stays the same. Our baseline rushing claw set stays the same. For everyone that is new here, this is the main source of our damage multiplying on the enemies and our main source for movement. Damage comes from Toxic Skin, and Rushing Claws applies it to the enemies. And Rushing Claws the only source that applies it 3 times on the enemies. So we really need Rushing Claw. It is super fast. It applies 3 times the damage, and it's the main source for the whole build. So you need to have for get this row going, you need to have Ravager on 10 ranks. That's the mandatory base for this build. So you need an Hasheksungi early, at least with 5, and then you can skill plus 5 all here in the no myth setup. You can do a starter setup, but you need this on 10 or you can't play this build. Just can't play it. So keep this in mind. Ravager on 10 is the most important, and then you can use the Rushing Claw combo. Back here, nothing new. The Protector to enable Hasheksungi, and then the ultimate stuff, and the Noxious Resonance. And with the Protector, you always have the if you cast your armored hide before casting the protector. You can keep armored hide all the time active too if you want this. Yeah, that's the skills. Paragon board didn't change at all. We use Colossal, so you need the resolve, of course. Keep in mind, this time with armored hide. We use Kenny, and we use Fester, we use Bane, and we use Revenge. Revenge needs some thorns damage. We have thorns on our pants. Sadly, in our endgame setup, we can't use the wound drinker again, so we need some thorns. Don't wonder about the thorns. And let's jump into the armory here. Of course, we have Harmony of Ebawaka. Something to keep in mind here is Noxus Resistance doesn't count as a skill. This means the double dipping from all the skills things, or as example, it's here Ebawaka. Ebawaka does 40% per skill, so we have per spirit hall. So for our toxic skin, we have centipede, we have eagle, and we have gorilla. So this does 100% more damage. But if you proc Noxus Resistance doesn't double dip with the 120%. As example, it would do if you do a multiplier of nourishment or on brilliance like on this, or the ultimate increase, all flat damage what that is increased double dips on Noxus Resistance, but Noxus Resistance doesn't count a skill. So this is just for the base modifier. Yeah. And then we have Shroud, of course, Shroud. And then we have the Hasheksungi, this is mandatory, like explained earlier. Then we have normal legs, no temerity, sadly. We have a little bit of an issue on the barrier side on this season, but it is what it is, because you need the aspect of temporal incisions. You increased your incarnate skills by up to 10%. So you have a good uptime on armored hide, and most important, you have 100% of dodge. This is very needed on the boss fights, because most of the boss fight area effects can be dodged. Strangely, don't ask why, but they can be dodged. So you have 100% dodge uptime on bosses and don't die. As easy as it is, and more important, you keep your barrier, and your barrier does more damage because of Vicious Shield here. More barrier, more damage. So you keep your barrier, you don't lose your resolve stacks, and you do more damage. And so that's important to have this on a very high uptime, and you can't do this without this aspect. So we need a normal pants, and we do 5 ranks on auspicious on it to get a little bit of extra barrier generation. Then like last time, we have the boots with some more block chance and the concussive stomp to do some knockdown, mostly because of the knockdown. But you can change this for movement. If you have boots without movement speed, you can use a movement aspect too. It's not too crazy. We use Shattered Foe, of course. We use our amulet. Of course, this is now a 4 aspect one. Most important is nourishment, followed by apex, followed by unrestrained power, and followed by brilliance. You can have some maximum life, you have some dex or cooldown reduction, or some useful stuff you have on this aspect too. We use here 4 ranks on auspicious 2 for more barrier. and we use Midday Hunt over Wound Drinker, we lose those 7 toxic skin ranks, but it is very more important to have a double scale on the poison effect lasting, and it's bugged like the last season too. So here it's called here it lasts 33% more, but it's 50%. The tooltip is just wrong. It's 50%. And it multiplies with the Shattered Throw damage over time duration too. And damage over time duration on Shattered Throw is effectively higher because Max Throw don't count the item quality on it. It's 139, I think, multiplied by 0.5, 1.5. With this item, and that does much more damage than the toxic skin ranks at this level. You use the Wound Drinker in the setup without. Oh, it's wrong. I have to fix this. You can use this Wound Drinker here if you don't have the Shattered Throw, because then it doesn't double dip, and it's not too important to have Midday Hunt without Shattered Throw. Okay, and then we have a normal ring, and we have here the Protector cooldown reduction. We have the Gorilla main damage bony. We have chance to apply wool, because we do apply wool from this glyph, I think. Yeah, we use a pole arm, so we have lucky to 40%, but it's too less chance. You need at least another modifier to have a comfortable applying source. So you would want to use one apply wool. Will it be on the ring or on the amulet? If it's perfect, it's on the ring. And yes, that's it. That's the equipment. I cleared very comfortable the 109 with it. My gear is not as good as in this setup here. So you can do at least 110 with the endgame setup here. And if you have good equipment, I think you can do like on 112, I guess. But then if you don't want to fish a perfect tower run and have really perfect gear like showed in Best in Slot, I don't think it gets much higher than 112. That will be the cap out. You can kill the Paragon 100 Uber bosses, the plus 45 ones. I did kill Varshan as an example, and I killed Gregoire with this. So you can do the higher bosses. You will need like around 5 minutes per boss. But it isn't too bad for the loot you get, so it's all right. You can do all the endgame content, and yeah. For the season mechanic, I just used the dexterity per kill once for this, and you don't need anything on the weapon. You don't need anything on the rings. You can use a cooldown reduction one on one of these two, or if you get a max life, it's alright. For main damage, you just need the dexterity ones. Yeah, I would say we'll cut it here. As always, if there are any questions or something, you can reach me in the game or your comment under the video. I really liked it last season. I have a very, very much contact with the people that trying this build out, and especially one guy. Me and we pushed the rank, the leaderboard really high. It's really funny. We did discovered a lot of hidden gems on this build, like it works, in-depth guides and so on. This was a great time in season 11, and don't think that season 12 will go that deep with it. But I hope everyone will play it, have a lot of fun, and it's definitely one of the better Spiritborn builds. I think just Payback damaged this out, and yeah, it is better than Evade, of course. Like last season too, it is better than Evade, and this season it's still better than Evade. Just to make this clear. And yes, then have a good time.